my usual practice. So I think you don't have issues with the recording since you can just turn off your camera. Okay, so now I'm going to check what have you done so that I know what should I be complimenting. All right. The first one, you are well aware to talk about research problem. Everyone well versed how to write research problem? Please answer, please answer. Feel freely to answer. Have you covered this?
Yes.
Yes, okay. So I just want to test a few things. Daniel, what is actually research problem?
Research problem. Basically, the thing or the issue that you want to investigate. So we come up with a proposal on how to solve the problem.
Okay, thank you, Daniel. But picture Faris, how do you identify, confirm the research problem? Just now, Daniel mentioned what is actually research problem a bit. Okay. Faris, can you identify? Can you, how do you confirm about the research problem? In using what method? Faris?
Yes.
Do you know the question is?
Yes. But then the method,
Mm.
I'm not sure that, Doctor. I mean, in terms of the problem statement itself, I know when we have a problem, so we have to find a solution, which is requires a hypothesis. But then the method, I'm not sure what should be the exact terms.
You miss, okay, anyone can tell this class, how do you confirm it's actually a problem and it is not, it has not been solved or it has been partially solved and you really want to give solution for that problem. Anyone, how do you check? That's my actual question. Okay, anyone? How do you check?
Literature review.
Yes, very good, literature. Okay,
Review.
other than that? Other than that? Apart from academic literature review, other than that? Please. Isney, what do you think? You have to answer. Right? Mm.
The current situation that happened from the industrial part, I guess.
Okay, so how do you know? It's good point, but how do you know the current situation? How do you get to know the current situation? The actual problem in industry, for example, how do you get to know that? Mm.
By news.
Okay. You read reports, right? Probably
Yeah,
reports
correct.
from environmental departments or from, if you're doing medical related, you probably read reports from WHO, from MOE, Ministry, MOH, Ministry of Health. Okay, so you have to read reports. Yeah. Another approach that you can do is you go directly having interview, direct interview with the person in charge. Okay, you can do that. You can do that to confirm on the research itself. Probably hypothetically the problem is this. Okay, but if you wish to really solve at industry level, well, it's up to you. We just want to solve at academic level, it's fine. But if you really want to solve at industry level, you have to see them, talk to them, interview them. Okay, so that is very important. If not, then it's going to be probably hypothetically solved, but it's not what the customer wanted. I mean, you can do, no problem, but this is research all about. You want to solve it for real, then you have to know the actual problem. Okay, so good. So far, so good. All right. Okay, so you have done. So this is the most important part if you are starting your research, whether it's master or PhD, is to confirm about the problem. Okay, is the problem real? Is the problem realistic to be solved by your solution? It's actually outdated. No one is actually care about the problem anymore. So you have to check, because one day you are going to publish, right? You are going to be questioned in the Viva session. So publishing requires novelty. So if you're solving something people has already solved a lot and it's very common, then you are going to have difficulty in publishing, and you might be in trouble during your Viva session. So you have to check the problem. Okay. So now you are well versed about identifying the issues, confirming the issues. So you have your solution, right? You have your solution. Okay. So in order to identify the solutions, you do some more literatures, then you list down all that probable, uh, you know what, the probability of using different kinds of material, different kinds of approach. Yeah. And then how do you decide? Once you obtain all those information from literature, so how do you decide on your solution? Fahana, Fahana? Hmm.
Prof.
Yeah, what do you think? You read a lot. So how do you decide?
Make sure it is feasible, doable.
Okay, feasible probably. Feasible means that accessibility of materials, yeah, yeah, accessibility of instrumentation. I assume that that is what you meant by feasibility, right?
Mm.
But doable,
Doable.
doable. What do you mean by doable?
Mm, I mean that I can do it.
Okay,
It's possible to do it.
if you confirm 100% that you can do it, then it is not about research anymore.
Oh, I see.
Okay, but if you propose a solution and you know that it's going to work 100%, then it's no longer a research. Okay, so doing research is solving something probably partially solved, but you have a better solution based on your understanding and based on your knowledge. Yeah. So knowledge is very important about the materials that you want to propose, the method that you want to propose, and everything related to that. Okay. But not giving a guarantee that it's going to work. Because if it is giving 100% guarantee, then it's no longer a research. It's just some other following manual. You are following manual, you prepare, you characterize, because you already know that it's going to work, then it's no longer a good research. I would say that. Okay. Right. Okay. So once you, because I'm going to move towards research design, yeah. I think Prof. Intan also has approached that, because once you know your problem, once you know your solution to the problem, okay, and you start to read a lot, you have to decide the scope, and you have to decide the material, the instruments, the characterization, the methodology that you wish to adopt, or you want to do totally new. It's up to you. It's up to whether you want to take a risk. Okay. You need to design, because you only have like 3 years maximum for PhD, and 2 years for your master. Unless you have unlimited resources, you can do longer than that. But most of us would like to, finish as on time. Okay. So strategize the research design, including how will you validate your data, your future data, what instruments, materials, services you need to buy to hire. Discuss also if you need extra human resources, do interviews, okay? Organize an online meeting with your team. Okay, this is something else. But if you have possibility of uh, research attachment, or you need to ask information, not just from your supervisor, but probably from outside university or probably from outside Malaysia. So please do that. Okay, you can always ask around, email to the other scientists and ask about the some you have questions on the solution or the material. So that is something that you need to do at this stage. Asking around those people that you knew working in the same area, probably you do not want to repeat their mistakes and you want to have a better solution. So you need to learn from other people as well, apart from their papers. Yeah. Because papers usually represent the one that is successful, but you do not know the story behind. So you need to do engagement, networking, talking to people, attending conferences, because these are things that researchers do. Yeah. So they don't just sit in the lab and do your own things. You need to get engaged. Right, now, in order to strategize your research design, the first 2 points are very important. Why do you think so? Let me move to someone else. Okay, Chai, why do you think these 2 are very important for you?
Which one? The tools?
The first
Yeah.
points, the first 2 points.
Oh, the first. Mm, sorry, sorry, Prof. I don't understand really well. Sorry, may I
Okay.
know?
All right. When you design your proposal, you are actually designing your research design. Yeah, you have
Yeah.
to understand that. And when you design the research, it's actually for 2 or 3 years of your life
Mm,
because you're doing your PhD. So imagine that will be like your daily life. So designing a research is designing your life.
yeah, understand.
Okay, so
Oh,
you don't really check whether the instruments is available, whether the services is available in the department or outside. And if it is has to be outsourced, your supervisor must have enough resources to support you. You have to know at the early stage,
mm,
unless you are willing to switch or you are willing to sacrifice few things, then it's okay, but it's going to affect you. So what I would like to say here, designing a research must requires you to think about 2 or 3 years, including contingency plans.
yeah.
With me, I
Okay.
do. I know I'm talking about. I've been in this line of research for almost 25 years. Yeah, more than that, including the PhD. So probably close to 30 years. So you have to know, especially when you are doing research in Malaysia, you need to buy the materials from outside Malaysia. And if you need to buy this material from outside Malaysia, you have to know the waiting time. Why I talk about this? Because usually if you I'm sure this is something that many of us do, is you use whatever we have in the lab, whatever material, whatever instrument of course, meaning that if you choose method A, the reason why is usually all the instruments, all the facilities in your lab is already there. So that is your biggest reason. By right, if you read literatures, they would be suggesting something else. Okay, so that's a pity. Well, there are limitations, of course, but try your best to propose something scientifically proven, not to say proven, scientifically, uh, theoretically it will work, okay, for your solution, okay? Because you have read a lot and you know among these, probably method A, material A is the best. But due to limitation in the lab, so you have to use material A or method B, material B and method B, which you know is not going to be that good. So you have to compromise things, okay? But that one is probably acceptable. What if the machines are down and it's going to be like forever? And that machine, that instrument is very crucial for your, yeah, for your research. And you know, without that characterization, just a simple example, you are doing nanomaterial and you do not have access to HRTAM, TAM, okay, to prove the material is nano. That is from morphological point of view, but you also possibly can use other means of characterization using different instrument to confirm that is nano. But if you want to publish in good journals, they want something very convincing. And HRTAM is definitely one of the a good instrument, one of the established instrument, sorry, in confirming the nano, okay, sizes. So you have to think about all this for the 3 years of your research. Because if you don't do this and one day you're stuck, then you do not have any contingency, you do not have any plan B, then you might be demotivated and plus, I don't know. So yeah, doing PhD and doing masters, whatever it is, you have to plan. Okay. So I hope that you understand this. All right. Okay. You can seek information from the others. You have to plan your proposal for 3 years. It's not just academically, it's not just hypothetically, it's not just theoretically. You have to really make it a feasible plan that works. Okay, a real. Okay, if it is 3 months, make sure that you know it's going to work at after 3 months. If you don't, you have to put some buffer to the time. Okay, so this one done. Right. Well, this one, I believe Prof. Intan has done. So content of proposal, everyone has understood how to write objective. I just want to check what kind of sentences that you use for objective. Active, passive. Fatin? Are you going to answer?
Present tense. I see that. Present tense, right, bro?
Every?
Present tense can, bro.
Present tense, because you haven't done anything yet.
Yeah.
But in terms of objective, what do you actually want to write?
Objectives is related to a project. For example, like if we want to synthesis any of the compounds, so we have to like to able to synthesis the and characterize the compound with the respective characterization methods.
Okay, all right. That depends on you, okay? Usually we don't do that long. Okay, what you want to synthesize is you imagine what you want to achieve. So remember, objective is the goal, right? So write the goal in a way that you want to achieve the goal. Present tense, of course, okay? And then do not write what we call as research activities. For example, the first objective is to do FTIR, GCMS, blah, 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 blah. No, that is what we call as research activities. They are not objective. So please differentiate that, okay? Writing objective is very important, especially in future if you want to apply for grant application, they will really look at your objective. Okay, they will really look at your objective because you do not want to be immature, to show your immaturity by writing research activities, which is not correct. Okay, and the objective must be measurable. Measurable doesn't mean quantify, but those people, for example, the one that evaluating you, probably in your seminar later, will be able to comprehend how is your first objective performance. Okay, so let's say you want to synthesize whatever that you mentioned just now. People will understand when you synthesize, you have to characterize. Okay, so you want to synthesize, let's say, star-shaped gold nanoparticle. You specifically mentioned star-shaped nanoparticle, gold nanoparticle. So in my mind, as evaluator, I will have to look at, okay, first I need to see your HR10. And then I need to see how much you produce. So these are something I would say measurable. Okay, I can see how do I evaluate your objective. So it's not about quantifying, but I know how to check your objective is good, you achieve that, and how much you achieve that. So that is very important in writing objective. Okay, so experimental design, we are trying to do it today. Yeah, it's 2:30 already. Gantt chart, yeah, as I mentioned just now, make it feasible, make it real. Don't just do it on papers, but make it real. You know already that you're going to need about 2 months just to get the temperature right, for example. Or you probably have other plans in your life. So you have to consider that. Yeah. For me, I would really want my students to write a real Gantt chart because every time you need to check, okay, where are we now? Where do we stand? Okay, that is what we need to do, okay? Because you do not want to complete in 6, 7, or 8 years of PhD, okay? Right, so graphical abstract. Anyone can explain what is graphical abstract? Shikin, Rashkin? Can you tell us? Yeah?
Graphical abstract.
Yeah.
Is it any of the figure of the experimental?
It's not any. It's, you know, abstract, right? Abstract, sort of a summary, right? Okay. But now it's in graphical form.
Also
Okay.
in graph?
No, not graphic. Graphical means images. Okay. So I'll show you probably later if you don't understand. This is very important because now if you are to publish, to send for publication, they are asking for graphical abstract. Is diagram, It's not graph. It can be graph plus diagrams, okay? And it's not any of your figures. It's a figure that represent the whole idea of your paper. If it is thesis, the whole idea of your thesis, but in a graphic form, not graph, graphic. Okay, so you must be able to draw, okay, your idea in a graphic form. So people not just by looking reading abstract, but looking at the graphic, they know, okay, what you are doing. So that is very important now. Okay, right,
So
graph. Yeah, yes.
is it like a mind map, a flow chart, something like that?
No. All right, so I will show you if it is. I think it's in the slide. Okay, right. Okay. Risk management usually is not for students, but if you want to know, developing a proposal skill, because in future you're going to be somebody, you're going to be a researcher in industry. Probably you are going to be a researcher in academic. Risk management is something that you have to put in proposal. One is, of course, you're thinking about money, you're thinking about time, you're thinking about technical glitch. So you have to think about what possibility of these three usually: technical glitch, time factor, and money cost. Yeah, whether the cost is going to be to shoot up. All right, you have to know this. Probably at your stage, because since you're a student, then you don't think about it. But it's good to get to use to risk management in designing a proposal. Okay, so I think I skipped this because Prof. Intan has done all this, but I would like to also emphasize whether you, I don't know, whether you have learned how to write executive summary. Adiba? What's the difference between executive summary and abstract? Yes, Adiba, what do you think?
I think executive summary is the summarize of the whole project, starting from the in a little bit of introduction, objective, method until the result.
Okay. You got partially right, but in terms of results, because executive summary is supposed to be in the proposal. Okay, supposed to be in the proposal, so you do not have results yet. Okay, definitely problem statement has to be there. Definitely your solution also has to be there. A bit of literature review, what has been done, okay? And variables of parameters that you wish to study, methodology in short. And you have to hypothesize based on your solution. Your hypothesis will be, this is how you solve the issues. You have to be very scientifically right about the way that you're going to say that your solution is going to solve that particularly that problem. And usually summary also, executive summary also highlight on the impact, possible application, okay? Future application of your current research. It does not have to be included in your research, but the impact, okay? So in writing a proposal, it's good to know the impact as well, write about the impact as well. So this is something you probably have not come across during your academic proposal, because you are used to title, problem statement, literature, objective, and methodologies. That's something that you're used to. But executive summary is before all those things. Of course, you have title And then you have executive summary. Why? Because your proposal one day might not be evaluated by people who have luxury in time. They do not have time to read all your background, all your long methodology solutions, but they just can read your executive summary. That's why I put it there 500 words, which is common, okay? And to put all your research proposal in 500 words is actually quite difficult. Try to do that. Try to convince people to ask for 1 million with 500 words. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, you are trying to get money for your proposal using 500 words. Okay, so usually evaluators, they don't have time to read all your proposals. So this is the one that very important skill to be developed. Yeah. Right. So next one. This is what you have done. Okay. So next week we are going to have a session invited by someone who use AI. Okay. I know that probably you are also well versed using AI in doing literature review, but we specifically invite this person. So because now using AI, you can speed up the organization of your literature review. Okay, you can at least, because there's so many papers, there's so many reports, so you need to use AI to help you sort this information. Okay, right? So next week I will tell you on the date and the link. So let me skip this. All right. All right. Let me skip this again. Okay. Just skip this. Skip. Okay. Right. Okay. So remember about graphical abstract just now? I asked, I think Farhana. All right. So so this is graphical abstract. So the title is actually on development of, because my line of work is sensor, biosensor and chemical sensor. So this graphical abstract explain about, do I have the title? No. The development of DNA-based biosensor for detection of certain things, okay? So here I describe the process plus the results, possible results, okay? But this one, graphical abstract, is actually, you can use it when you have the results already, okay? So I'm giving an idea for the person who reads about how do I solve, okay? And then it includes all the methodology that I do, plus the possible results, okay? So from here, you can know that I develop a poly HPA film, okay? And then using electrochemical, and then I do different sets of analysis, and then I have important in biosciences, for example, that we have to do this hybridization process. And this is the principle of how I read the DNA biosensor. So this requires you to embed everything, information from the development stage until the result stage. So people get the idea, what do you do, okay? Apart from reading the abstract. So it is an abstract in a graphic form, okay? You need to have skill to write this, to do this, yeah? But I believe that after sometimes you will be able to do this. Because if you read journal nowadays, you will find this graphical abstract, okay? Because publishers, they requires you to submit graphical abstract as well, not just abstract. Okay, so I'm going to skip this first. And let's continue on the slide that I have to ask that I have asked you to download, which is on the research design. Okay. But if you have any question, just please ask, yeah? Just please stop me and ask. That's the slideshow button. So since this topic is very important, especially at your stage, okay, the designing is very important, okay? All right, focus group, okay, let me skip this. So experimental design is a way to plan experiments, okay? Based on your literature, you are now well versed on the method that you wish to apply or use, and you are well versed in the material, and you are well versed on the characterization. Now means that you have completed your, not to say completed, the literature will be never completed. You will have to read throughout. But at least you have a lot of information. Yeah? So this is where you start to write your experimental design, okay? Because you need to check on the validity, whether it is sound, scientifically sound, okay? This is also very important. Is the materials within reach? Is the services required available or can be outsourced? Okay, this is very important for you to check the availability of the instruments, okay? If you need to outsource, where can you outsource? Or do you have the capability to outsource? Okay, so how long it will take? Do you have to queue until 3 months, or you have to or anything that you can do to speed up the process? How much money you have? Any hindrance, for example, time consuming, okay? How long do you need time to buy materials, purchase materials? And one thing, another skill that you need to develop by now is to anticipate problems. No one wants to talk about problems, but you have to do that. You have to be able to anticipate. This is something difficult to learn, but you develop over time. You need to have contingency because you can anticipate problems. Yeah? You don't predict, but you anticipate problems. So contingency is very important. As a researcher, you will have to answer your stakeholder on the outputs, okay? You yourself probably don't have to answer to the stakeholder. Probably your supervisor has, but your supervisor will also have to ask you why you don't achieve this and blah, blah, blah. But in the end, it's the responsibility of the researcher. Okay, as graduate student, you have to answer to your supervisor. This must be considered in constructing an experimental design. Yeah, contingency, possibility that the lab will fail, the experiment will fail, and what to do next. Okay, so this is something that you have to think about in designing a research design. So this is what should be expected from this topic. By the end of this unit, you should be able to plan suitable methodologies and procedures to be adopted, anticipate problems and challenges, mitigate the anticipated problems, contingency. Okay, before that, this is just a revision, okay? To remind you on the steps, okay? This is typical in analytical chemistry because you are doing analysis, whatever you do, even do you do organic or you do material, you have to do chemical analysis. So this is things that you have to consider when you do chemical analysis. Okay, you start with method selection. I'm sure that you, during your during your literature review, this is one of the things that you consider, what method that you want to select, whether method of preparation or probably method for characterization. So this is very important, very important. And then we talk about sample. Okay, so sampling, I don't know how many of you involved in sampling. Okay, probably from forestry just now, you have to do sampling. Then you need to have skill, correct skill in doing sampling. If you do not know how to sample, then please learn. Please find information, the the correct skill in doing sampling. Because if you are wrong at the beginning and when you presented your viva and the viva committee detect that you have done a wrong way, you did a wrong way in doing sampling, then the whole data, you can imagine what will happen. Okay, so the first two is very important. If you choose wrong method, then also the results are not acceptable. If you sample wrongly, the results are also not acceptable. So please do revise back, okay, whatever that you have learned during your undergraduates. This is something that you should be using, okay? All right, the skill in sample processing is also very important. How do you prepare a soluble, 100% soluble material? Okay, your knowledge in deciding what solvent, okay, you need to use polar solvent, or you can just use any other solvent. If it is not soluble, what to do? Okay, you have to think about this, even at this stage, okay? Because try your best to design it completely before starting your lab work. Okay, so I hope that these first three has been something that you are well versed, okay? The methods, if you need to sample correctly. And if you need to prepare your sample process, you know how to do it, okay? You know how to prepare your sample properly. If you need to grind, if you need to dissolve it, you have to be well versed, okay? And replication, okay? Whatever that you do, don't just run once. You have to run, or you have to prepare a multiple batch, okay? It is not acceptable if you just prepare one set and then you run one set of analysis and you expect the results are good to go. No, okay? You have to at least do a minimum of 3 replications. Okay, so it's not going to be accurate if you just do once. Please do multiple sets of preparations and multiple sets of characterization. You have to do that, all right? And then sample from interference, okay? Sample form, sorry. Sample form, also you have to confirm what kind of sizes. You need to have a very refined form, or you need to have a volatile form. You have to confirm before you do or before you run the analysis. If it is not the correct form, then you might destroy the instrument itself. If it is not destroyed, then the results will not be accurate. And if you are talking about raw material, meaning that you obtain the sample from outside, from very crude sample, you have to think about how to remove the interference. Okay, so this is something very difficult to do when you have interference from some other compound apart from your analytes, if you do analysis. Or you might have, if you are doing material, you might have contamination. So how do you get rid of this contamination? Okay, these are all parts of sample preparation, okay? So now, once you achieve this level, you are now getting the measurement done, okay? So this is also something that you have to think about just now, about the sensitivity of the instruments. whether it is enough for you, okay, whether the instrument works well, and then before you do the measurement, okay, you need to make sure that the instruments is actually well maintained, it works well, is accurate, and whatnot. Okay, so this is something I think is quite it's just logic for everybody to do that. Okay, now you have sets of data. This also has to be in your research design. What kind of data analysis that you're going to do? Okay, so it's not enough for just doing the lab, doing the measurement. You have to think about data analysis. What is your plan? You want to do some statistical, or you want to do some software analysis, or you want to plot graph, so many graphs, so many model, and then you have to put it in your research design as well, because certain analysis requires certain data sets. Okay, so if you don't plan, probably in the end, you have to change what kind of analysis that you want to do. Now, what is data evaluation? You have to check. All right. Sometimes we do statistical analysis, or sometimes we do validation. Validation means that if you have the same sample run with your method and same sample run with established method, your new method probably have different sets of data, and your the data being generated from established instruments or established method give you different sets of data. So you have to check on reliability of your method development. Is it correct? You have to look at the data. Don't just be happy when you have, okay, I have data. No, you have to evaluate the data. Okay, it might be a total, what do you call, I forgot the words. So once the evaluation has been done, so now you can decide whether you need to repeat or you just like let it go. Okay, all right. So you have to be honest, be ethical. If the data is not good, if the data is not accurate, you have to think about, you have to troubleshoot, you have to repeat. Okay, this is not something that you can escape as a researcher. You have to be ethical. Okay, right. There is one biggest what do you call principle as being a researcher. You have to be honest. All right, adopting methodology and procedures. So usually we adopt, we don't develop a new one. Okay, so standard established methods should be adopted for analysis or to be modified. So you have to cite the reference if you're adopting. Samples used should be representative. So whenever that you do sampling or you do multiple sets of preparation, then the samples you send for characterization should be representative of all what you have done. Okay, it shouldn't be, okay, this sample, you probably do 3 preparation set, but you are biased. You know, okay, so based on the ethics just now, if you have bias, then the data set also will be affected. Okay, so replication again is a must. Okay. Okay, let's skip this. Okay, and anticipating problems. Okay, so I think another 4 minutes, we can just take a break for 10 minutes. Yeah, at 3 o'clock. Anticipating problems, mitigation, and contingencies. This is something people don't do, but it's very important. Okay, you have to anticipate problems. Okay, for us like researchers, we have to anticipate a lot of things like students resign, research assistant resign, so the work stops. But in your point of view, probably the material finish, or probably the chemicals that you really keep, somebody stole it. the instrument breakdown. So those are things that you have to really consider and think about contingencies. You find out where to outsource, where to at least get some materials faster. Okay, so those things are human skill, right? This is something that you need to know. All right, if your research involve ethic application, you really have to plan early if you need to involve something like animals, okay? Because ethic application can take a long time, so you have to plan early. For example, this is just an example. Okay. So this is a practice that we will do, but not now. So now we take a break for probably 15 minutes. And then we start at 3:15, okay? Okay, everybody.
Prof.
Okay,
All
Prof.
right, okay. So come back at 3:15. You can stay online, okay? You can just go out first and come back using the same link. Okay, see you at 3:15. All right. Okay, everybody, welcome back. I think we have, we're still missing one, I think. Okay, can you see the screen on Putra Blast?
Yes,
Yes.
bro.
All right, thank you. Okay, so I just want to share with you what we have in the Putra Blast because I have added few things. Okay, so for those of you who wish to know about the calendar, means that what we plan for your lectures, and you also have your breaks and public holidays. You can click on the course calendar. The course content is whatever that we plan to teach you. Okay, okay, this is WhatsApp information, and this is today's link. Starting next week, the link will only be given through the WhatsApp group. Yeah. So for attendance, you can mark your own attendance, including today. You have to quickly mark during between the 2 to 4:30. If you don't mark during that, then the system will be closed. But no worry, I can mark for you. uh, please make sure that you attended minimum of 80%, yeah, for lecture, because that's the standard of UPM. Yeah, minimum you can skip is 20%. But unless you really have some good, if you have some good reasons, then it's okay. You can give me the excuses for not able to come to the class. All right. So introduction to research, I think, I believe this is some fundamental that has been given by Prof. Intan. And this is also a slide by Prof. Intan developing a proposal. And the slide that I used just now is this one. And we are going to use the same slide for next week. Please do the second part in the slide. It will involve communication. Okay, so you have to use the same slide for next week. And these are my past recorded lecture videos, because I do teach the master by course. So their classes are online. So if you wish to know about problem statement, executive summary, probably you can just watch through. Okay, so this is what we have done. Experimental design today. Okay, literature review. But I think we are going to do a more detail on AI assisted literature review next week. As I mentioned, I will give the dates and time. It's not going to be Monday. It's going to be because it is based on the availability of the speaker, and we will join two groups together to have this online session. So it's going to be from 6 to 9. It's going to time. It's not going to be 2 to 4. But I believe it's not an issue for you. All right. This is also by Prof. Intan, the assignment, and she has given you how many marks? No, no, no. What I mean is how many percent? Do you know? Hello?
10% kot, Prof.
10%. Okay. All right. Because I don't remember. Okay. Remember that this research methodology subject, you're going to have 70% coursework. Okay. 30% final exam. Say coursework means that you have to do all sorts of assignment to get the 70% marks. Yeah. So only 30% is final exam. Okay. All right. So remember that. So next week we are going to do data analysis and communication. All right. So please download the data analysis slide also for next week. And what is other? Okay. This one, science communication, the slides is in the research proposal writing because it is embedded here. So I'm sure that some of you will be involved in presenting your proposal soon, yeah, this semester. And then, of course, this subject will also involve on thesis writing. Yeah, what is this all about? Chapter 1 until chapter 4 or chapter 5 conclusion. For those of you who has wrote thesis before, then it's no problem. Okay, and scientific writing will involve journal, working scientific working paper. What I mean by working paper is publishing your scientific data. There is also review, okay, a review paper. So we will learn, we will discuss on how to write this kind of papers. So along the way, maybe we have some other invited speakers, okay? And these are all that we will, okay, go through throughout this subject for the whole semester. So for this first class, I do not plan to have a very long one, but I just want to show you the idea of what kind of assignment that we're going to have. Okay, stop share this one. I'm going to share back the slide. Where's the slide? There's no. All right. Okay, so now the screen is showing you activity 2, correct? Yeah.
Yes, Prof.
Yes, Prof.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, this is an example. Okay, what we are going to do this not next week. Okay, because next week will be the AI assisted. So the week after that, we'll be discussing data analysis and communication. And I think we have week 8 before your semester break. And then we are going to start with activity. So these types of exercises and this type of assignment will be in this class. Okay, for example, this one, it's a scenario. An Australian billionaire who owns various oil exploration, refining, and marketing also has developed a new ski resort. After the launch press conference, his exotic sports car breaks down in front of the world's press. The engine of the vehicle has been completely seized as the oil has gelatinized. The billionaire sues Northern Petroleum, who produced the oil used in his car, and threatens to sever all his other commercial links with NP. So the chairman of NP asked his head of technology to set up a task force to quickly investigate and respond. Okay, this is your neck online. Your team, okay, this is possibility that you need to do. These are among the things that you need to do. So your team are asked to investigate and report on different areas relevant to the problem, from general information about engines and lubricants to detailed analysis of polymer solubility. Your team will meet in 3 formal facilitated workshops, as many informal times as you wish, where you will coordinate work and report back to each other. Okay, workshop 1 will be task briefing session, where facilitators will clarify the task. That means you do the task, you divide the task. Then workshop 2 will be where you report progress to each other. And workshop 3 is where you finally pull all the information together and produce a content page of your final team report. So this is assignment by me. Okay, not to worry, we're going to discuss later again. Okay, but I'm giving you the idea of how the assignment will be in this subject. Okay, so make sure that you have good minds. Make sure that you have strong internet. Okay, because for example, workshop 1, workshop 2, you can do it during your time together with your team. So you have to record the meeting session, and somebody has to be the coordinator, somebody has to be task 1, task 2, task 3. So since there are only 11 of you, so you will not be divided into groups. You will stay 10 of you, 10 of you. 11 is including me. 10 of you, you will be in the same group and you will sit down one day and then discuss about the task. Okay. The detail of this case study will be given to you when the time comes. Yeah. So you have to do some role play, record the meeting, and then you can see that where you first meeting, you need to divide the task. The second, you report progress, and the third one, you pull everything together to prepare the final report and present it to the boss. Okay, which is the workshop 3. So you have to do it like it is real. Okay, so this is a problem. This is something just like research where you need to think about the solution. Okay, what to do, what kind of analysis that you need to do, what is the time span that you have, okay, what instruments that you have in the lab, and then how do you answer to the billionaire? I mean, you have to answer to your boss first because the boss has to tell the billionaire this is not our fault. This is what? Okay, that it will be the scenario. Okay, I'm just giving you idea of what kind of assignment, yeah, in this class, apart from personal assignment, individual assignment that you have done from Prof. Intan. This is group assignment. You also have to do another individual assignment, probably in the form of writing towards the end of your semester. Okay, so if it is 10% by Prof. Intan, then we have another 60%. So the 60% will be divided for this kind of assignment and another written assignment. So not that many. So this and another written assignment. Why we have to do that? Because for this subject, it's not just about knowledge. It's also, you have to be evaluated in terms of communication. You have to be evaluated in terms of how you collaborate with each other. Okay, this is something that I have to do. I have to evaluate you based on this. So how can I do that is through your recorded meeting, and the last workshop will be together with me when you present to me on the output. Okay, so I hope you understand your task in future. Not to worry, no pressure. We will do it accordingly, and I hope that my objective for this subject is to really assist you in facilitating your research. Yeah. So it's not about getting a theory or knowledge, but you can use this knowledge from this subject to assist you in prosecuting or completing your research. Yeah, so I hope it will be. Okay, everybody, any questions?
No, Prof.
All right, no. So if there is no, then I thank you. I'll give you information next week on the AI assisted literature review. Okay, so soon I will have, I think should be around 21 November. Let me check, yeah. 21st will be on Thursday. Okay, so just make sure that I will remind you. You'll be the invited talk will be on 21st. November. but it will be 6 to 9. Okay. The link will be provided, and please make sure that you attend. It's a good session. I have invited the same speaker before. And also, if any of you has attended library session for literature, anyone?
Yeah, Prof, already did.
Okay, good, very good. Okay, so those are your initiative. You have to join the library if you need to, if you really need to do literature assisted by the library, so you can just join them. Apart from that, I think, thank you everybody for joining today. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Prof.
Thank you, Prof.
Thank you, Prof.
Bye.